Ladies and gentlemen, tech enthusiasts and accidental viewers who just clicked the wrong link, welcome to Latest in Tech with Miles, or as I call it, Lit. Don't get used to that intro. Here on Lit, we're going to explore everything from AI that's trying to steal your job, to the latest smartphone that promises to change your life but really just has a slightly better camera, and we'll also wade into the confusing and often amusing world of tech regulation, where politicians tackle issues that they barely understand.
Mr. Chu, does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
And let's get started with iPhones showing your PP to other people. Last week, some iPhone owners reported that photos they deleted as far back as 2010 were reappearing on their iPhones after updating to iOS 17.5. Even worse, some were seeing pictures taken by others, and others were seeing their deleted photos. And let's be honest, there are two types of photos that you consciously delete: blurry ones and those that should be blurred. One Reddit user mentioned that while trying to send photos to his partner, the latest pictures in his Photos app included some explicit ones from years ago. He was sure he'd deleted them, but now they were magically back. Another user had an even worse experience. He sold his iPad to his friend after wiping it according to Apple's official guidelines. However, his old pictures reappeared on the device. This raises significant privacy concerns and provides a good opportunity to discuss what actually happens when you delete your files. Because some of you might not realize that the files aren't actually removed from your phone or computer. Instead, the system marks this space as empty and ready to be rewritten. Think of it like rooms in a hotel. When someone checks out, they close the door to their room, and until a new guest moves in, everything inside stays the same and should be inaccessible, in theory. In practice, anybody with the right tools can break in and see what's inside, potentially finding embarrassing items that could be used for blackmail. This issue isn't isolated. Places like Agbogbloshy in Ghana exist because it's cheaper to send electronics to Africa labeled as donations than it is to properly recycle them. Organized criminals often look for hard drives left in those landfills, attempting to recover valuable information. There are stories of confidential multi-million-dollar agreements involving the American Defense Intelligence Agency, Homeland Security, and the TSA being found on these drives. They can even find money. Cryptocurrency like Bitcoin can be recovered from those discarded drives. For instance, Irishman James Howells accidentally threw out a hard drive containing around 8,000 Bitcoin, now worth almost $250 million. But returning to the issue of resurfacing photos, the iOS 17.5.1 update suggests that the photos appearing on devices were the result of database corruption. Hard drives are not perfect hardware. They operate by switching some transistors from zeros to ones and from ones to zeros. Occasionally, some parts get stuck or corrupted. It happens way too often to make a big deal out of it and make you buy a new drive every time. So the manufacturers taught the drives to just leave it like that, mark as corrupted, and never go back to it. However, the 17.5 update apparently overlooked these marks, allowing the corrupted sections to be accessed, thus restoring the deleted photos. So this update highlights the importance of understanding how the digital storage works and the potential risks involved. It's a reminder to always be cautious with sensitive information because the ones and zeros on your drive are not too different from the numbers and letters wrote on a piece of paper. Now, as we're already speaking about being naked, unless you've been sitting under the rock, you must have seen the images of portals connecting New York with Dublin. It was like a giant FaceTime call between the cities, and it started so wholesome. People were waving, dancing, and even twin brothers were taking pictures together. It had the vibe of the old videos of people seeing the camera for the first time. But then, the OnlyFans models learned about it and did what they usually do.
When this OnlyFans model showed off her twin towers.
Which is kind of funny because the cameras are actually positioned above the portals. You can even see on the video that only the heads of the people in front of it are visible. So the Irish grandmother couldn't even see the TDs, and she couldn't tell her to move back because there is no audio. But in the race to get the first arrest, it was the Irish who took the lead. One kind lady decided to show New Yorkers another portal through the portal. Yeah, and let's not even get started on the never-ending livestream of not safe for work memes. All of this led to the portal being switched off. And if they ever decide to turn it back on, they need to rethink the location. Having it near pubs and bars clearly didn't work out too well. But there's hope. These portals aren't actually a new concept. There are already portals connecting Vilnius in Lithuania and the Polish city of Lublin, and they've been working without any issues for 3 years now. So it is possible. Now, do you like dating? If you don't, you're in luck. The AI copy of you will do it for you. Don't believe me? Just listen.
So for example, you could in the near future be talking to your AI dating concierge, and you could share your insecurities. I just came out of a breakup. I have commitment issues. If you want to get really out there, there is a world where your dating concierge could go and date for you with other dating concierge. No, truly.
Yeah, are we really talking about me sharing my insecurities with a billion-dollar company? I mean, I know that Facebook already knows more about me than I do, but we're talking about a company whose only business model is to keep me on their platform for as long as possible. Yeah, surprise, dating apps don't actually like it when you find someone. They only profit for as long as you're searching. So excuse me if I don't trust their good intentions when they're asking me about my insecurities. Thankfully, Miss Whitney Wolfe Herd, the founder of Bumble, has a history of being wrong. For those of you who don't know, Bumble is like Hinge or Tinder. You swipe right and left on different profiles, and if two people swipe right, it's a match. But unlike on Hinge and Tinder, on Bumble, women have to make the first move. That's right, ladies are in the driver's seat, deciding who to message first. It was designed to empower women and give them control over their dating experience. No more unsolicited messages. Ladies were in charge. But it seems the ladies got tired of making the first move. Apparently the pressure to type in "hey" was too much. So Bumble's rebrand includes a new tool to relieve this burden. I mean, the irony is unreal. It was the only mechanism making Bumble different from Tinder and Hinge, more feminist, and clearly, it doesn't work. So as you can see, whatever Miss Whitney imagines is the future of dating doesn't necessarily have to be. Even this lady cannot take her seriously.
Truly. And then you don't have to talk to 600 people. It will just scan all.
Plus, it's a reminder for you to stop using dating apps because they pay millions to design a strategy that will keep you searching for as long as possible. Because remember, if you're not paying, it means you're the product. Now, speaking of AI, it was a busy week. And let's start with Google's conference. Google announced some new camera features. If you point your camera at text or code, it will describe it for you. If you show it your surroundings, it can tell you some facts about it. Or if you're looking for your glasses, it will tell you they're next to the red apple. Gemini has a different problem though. It's heavily censored. I mean, whatever you type into Gemini that is potentially controversial or critical of something, it avoids those topics. And I've noticed it when using the same prompt in Gemini and ChatGPT, and I didn't like it. Remember, when they first introduced Gemini, it was so woke that getting the program to produce images of Caucasian males was difficult, and in some cases, nearly impossible. People were posting screenshots of Gemini generating pictures of racially diverse Nazi soldiers and vanilla pudding. I mean, something's not correct, right? I don't think AI should be leaning into any political side. That's just dangerous. Especially now when Google proudly says that AI is supporting Google search results. No company should have this much to say in terms of deciding what type of content you read or listen to. Thankfully, OpenAI seems to be much more open-minded, and just a day before Google's conference, they launched their own ChatGPT 4.0. And to learn more about it, watch this video.